We are here at Sheraton, Richmond, British Columbia. ਅੱਜ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਥੋੜੀ ਦੇਰ ਚ ਪਹੁੰਚਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਲਾਰਜ ਕਰਾਊਡ ਨੂੰ ਐਡਰੈਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ. Thousands of people are already inside and there are thousands people are waiting outside. It's the huge crowd after a long time I seen when the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in 2015. Similar kind of crowd ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ. And pretty soon, Mr. Mark Carney will come and address everybody. And CJ Sidhu reporting from Richmond, British Columbia.
My name is Wade Grant. My traditional name is Solak Polano, and I'm the proud Liberal candidate for Vancouver Quadra. It's not lost on me that I'm standing not too far away from where my ancestors welcomed people for thousands of years. The mouth of the Fraser River, the shores of the Salish Sea. We've been doing that for generations. We welcomed Captain Narvaez, who was the first European explorer. We welcomed Gordon Hong, my grandfather, into Musqueam. He married my grandmother and had 4 beautiful children, including my father, Howard Grant. The only way this night would have been better for me was if my children were able to be here. But my daughter is at her practice for her volleyball team because they're going to the Nationals in Edmonton next year. And my son said, Dad, I would love to be there, but I have a very important English test tomorrow, and he's studying. So it's very, very prideful for me that they have such hard work ethics. And it reminded me of a comment in 2008 when my family stood and listened to the apology for residential schools, and a young parliamentarian said, you know what we need? We need to instill the values of hard work in Indigenous people. And that young man was Pierre Poilievre. Well, I've never met him, but I want to let him know that Indigenous people have known the value of hard work for thousands of years. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my grandmother or my grandfather standing here as the next MP of Vancouver Quadra without that hard work. And I know hard work when I see it. And that's why I'm so proud to stand with my fellow candidates and to stand with Mark Carney, because they're ready to work hard for each and every one of you. They want to ensure that we make Canada brighter, better, and we want to make sure Canada is strong. Thank you so much.
Wow, Wade. I don't know how to follow you on that one, but you know, what a great crowd today. How's everyone doing tonight? Good evening and bonjour à tous. Welcome to Richmond. I'm Wilson Miao, your Liberal candidate for Richmond Santa Marple. It's been a privilege to represent my community, this vibrant, diverse, and hardworking community. And it is also my absolute pleasure for being here today with all of you today. Wade, you know, this journey is just the start, and we're going to pull this off at the finish line. And I welcome all of you, including all my fellow BC candidate right behind us, to this beautiful riding of Richmond Santa Marple. It is a pleasure that I'm joined here with my friends Jill McKnight and Parm Baines on this very special occasion. And now I'm going to pass it to Parm so he can do his part. Thank you.
That's right. Thank you, Wilson. First stop, Richmond, British Columbia. And this little city of ours is going to keep Canada strong. Today, I'm excited, as your Liberal candidate from Richmond East Easton, to be able to introduce a very special guest tonight, Prime Minister Mark Carney. An extraordinary leader whose experience spans the highest level of national and international finance, including his groundbreaking tenure serving as governor for 2 national banks in the G7. And this is why we're all here tonight, right? Because of his dedication towards economic resilience, climate leadership, unwavering commitment to stand up for Canada, this great nation. It's an important time. It's a challenging time. And Mark Carney will build a strong Canada. I'm going to hand it over to my colleague here from Delta, Jill McKnight.
Thank you very much to my colleagues. It is an honor to be here. You're absolutely right. Mark Carney's leadership personally inspired me to run for office, and I know that I'm not the only one in the room that feels the energy of this campaign. Thank you. Before we welcome the Prime Minister, as they say, beside every great man is an equally great woman. Diana Fox Carney is formidable in her own right. A globally respected economist and policy expert, her work specializing in climate, energy, and developmental policy has brought her to collaborate with numerous international organizations, charities, and think tanks to implement solutions to some of the biggest challenges we're facing today.
And without further ado, let's give a round of applause and welcome Madame Diana Fox Carney.
Wow, good evening. Thank you, Wilson. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight. I've seen you, from my room I could see you lining up, and I appreciate everyone spending time with us tonight. So, merci tout le monde. C'est un grand plaisir d'être parmi vous ce soir to tell you a little bit about someone that I know well and that you are just beginning to get to know. So I'm going to take you back a long time ago to our first date. We were young, we were grad students, and we went out to dinner. It was an extremely nice dinner. We were getting on really well, everything was going very well. When Mark stopped the conversation and said, something I have to tell you. I'm committed to go back to Canada and to work in the public service. And it was an unusual kind of date gambit, that one. But I realized two things about, well, I didn't know he was going to be my husband then, but I realized two things about the man that I was dining with. The first, that he was a man of unusual conviction. He was a man of integrity, of values, and someone who had deep belief in service to his country. Yeah. And the second thing I realized, or I thought about, was perhaps he needed to work a little bit on that romantic side. But work he did, and work he always does. He always does. So we made it on both counts. And I'm not in the slightest bit surprised that he's fulfilled his commitment to himself and to Canada and risen to this enormous challenge that we face now. In fact, rising to a challenge is something of a defining characteristic for Mark. And faced with a challenge, he hits the ground running. He's adaptable, he's agile, and he draws on both an extraordinary memory and a breadth and depth of experience which really is second to none. And most of all, he's cool and calm under pressure. And nowhere was that more apparent than the morning after the Brexit referendum when we were living in London. And as governor of the Bank of England, he stood up and addressed the nation. And he was ready. He'd done the work. He knew what needed to be done to take the country through those difficult days. And no one else seemed to be in that position. And that's, I think, where we find ourselves today.
100%.
So, as his partner, I'm extremely proud of him. And as a Canadian, I'm extremely grateful that the man I met all those years ago, more than 30 years ago, has held tight to that strong commitment to public service. So I'm lucky to have him. We're lucky to have him. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce my husband, your Liberal leader, and the Prime Minister who will make Canada strong. And Canada...
Wow. Well, that was slightly, that was slightly embarrassing. That whole sort of first date thing. Miracle she's still with me. But thank you, Diana. But I am with you, Richmond. Thank you for being here. Merci. Thank you, Wade. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Wilson. Thank you, Parm. Where are you, Parm? I see your... There is. Thank all the amazing BC Liberal candidates that are here. Taking a precious hour. Yes, I am going to speak for an hour. No, don't worry. It's not one of my answers in a press conference. It'll be shorter than that. It will, the press understand that. But these candidates for the Liberal Party, taking an hour out of knocking on doors, listening to your concerns, and getting ready to fight for British Columbia, fight for Canada. And it is great. It's been, 6 weeks since I was last here, 2 months, I guess, since I was last here in Richmond. Such an extraordinary place. The past, present, and future of Canada, right here. People who've made this their community, made this community strong. People of Richmond who are making Canada strong. So, when I come, I got a couple of questions. First question, who's ready? Who is ready? Qui est prêt? Who is ready to stand up for Canada with me? And who is ready to help the Liberal Party win the most consequential election in our lifetime? And we need you. We need every single one of you. Every minute between now and April 28th, because this is the most important election. And to put an exclamation mark on it, last week, once again, Donald Trump imposed massive tariffs on the world. This time, he skipped Canada. We got the best of a series of bad deals. But you can handle them. We can handle them. We are going to handle them. We are going to handle them. We can handle them. We can handle Donald Trump. That's what he misses, and I'm going to go into that. But there are 3 other sets of tariffs in place on auto, on steel and aluminum, and now they are threatening tariffs or announcing tariffs on softwood lumber. They are threatening our businesses, our workers, our families. And all of these tariffs, you have different excuses for them. They are all unjustified. They are all unwarranted. They are all misguided. But they're all having an impact. And, you know, I stood in the House of Commons last week and made this observation, and it's sinking in. It finally sunk into the financial markets. The global economy has fundamentally changed because of these actions. The system of global trade that's existed all my life, everyone in this room pretty much, the system of trade that was anchored on the United States, that we as a country have relied on since the end of the Second World War. A system that, while not perfect, has helped deliver prosperity to our country for decades. That system is over. Yep. That system is over. And our old relationship with the United States, which in fits and starts, but in the same direction, was based on steadily deepening integration, getting closer with the United States. That relationship is over. And in many ways, this is a tragedy, but it's the new reality, and we have to respond to it. And we are responding. We are responding as Canada. We are responding with purpose and with force. We will fight, we will protect, and we will build. Diversity. I'll get to that. We will. We are fighting. We are fighting these unjust American tariffs with counter tariffs of our own. And those tariffs will cause maximum harm in the United States and minimum impact here in Canada. The Americans understand money, lawyers, and Fox News. So we're fighting them with tariffs. We're fighting them in the courts. We're going to win those court battles. It's just going to take a long time. Justice moves slowly in the United States. And as I said last night, I wasn't joking. We sent Doug Ford down onto Fox News today. And he's doing a damn good job. And now the American investors have woken up, and they're fighting and tanking their stock market. We told you it was going to come.
Not the autocrat.
But we're not just fighting. That's just fair. That's just right. But what we're doing is protecting our workers and our businesses. We're using every single dollar we collect from those retaliatory tariffs, and we're giving them back to workers and the businesses most affected. And we are building. We have a positive agenda. We are building Canada strong. 100%. And you know, to build our country, to renew our country is going to require big changes. And I'm ready to help make those. I'm not, you know, I got into this about 3 months ago, a little less than 3 months ago. I'm not a career politician. Don't hold that against me. I'm not a career politician. I am a pragmatist. Yeah, I am a pragmatist. So when I see that something's not working, I change it. And that's what I did. That's what I did in my first week as Prime Minister. New homes, boy, I don't have to tell you this here. Here in Richmond, here in BC, new homes are way too expensive. So we cut taxes on them. The capital gains tax hike was stifling the very builders we needed for those homes, the innovators that exist here. So we got rid of that capital gains tax hike. It's not coming back. And we recognized that while it was good on paper, the consumer carbon tax had become too divisive. So we eliminated it on day one. You might have noticed last week, up to 18 cents a litre off at the pump. The right time. Et nous avons élargi l'accès au régime canadien de soins dentaires pour que 5 millions de Canadiens de plus puissent en bénéficier. 5 million more Canadians. Right. Oui. Et nous avons renforcé nos relations commerciales avec l'Union européenne pour que notre économie soit moins dépendante des États-Unis. C'est ça. Absolument. Et nous avons conclu une entente militaire avec l'Australie et renforcé notre collaboration militaire avec la France et le Royaume-Uni. Et pendant nos premières semaines, nous accélérons le développement de projets d'infrastructure majeurs et faisons du Canada une superpuissance des énergies vertes et traditionnelles. Nous mettons fin au dédoublement des réglementations. Because... Pardon? Oh, merci, OK. J'ai survécu, OK. C'est mon professeur, là. Non, c'est pas correct. Merci bien. Au travail. Look, we need to do things as a country, and we can do this, but we need to do things that we previously thought were impossible at speeds we haven't seen in a generation. So what we're going to do is we're going to have one project, one review. We'll get out of the way. We know we need one Canadian economy, not 13. So in the at the end of my first week as Prime Minister, we sat down with all the premiers and we agreed to eliminate all the barriers to trade and labor mobility in our country. And I thought to myself, after that meeting, when's the last time the premiers agreed on anything? Except that they hate the federal government, which is okay. It's fine if they hate us, as long as we all deliver for you. And my government will do our part for that free trade in Canada by July 1st. We will eliminate all the federal barriers. Free trade in Canada by Canada. So in just 9 days, while we were formally in government, we did more than Pierre Poilievre has imagined in all his decades in politics. And that's if he had an imagination and didn't just mimic Donald Trump. Then what we did, then was time to begin our campaign. So on day one, we announced a middle-class tax cut, delivering savings of up to $825 per year for your family. We released a plan to build a stronger Canadian armed forces to keep our nation safe and our sovereignty unchallenged. And under attack from the Americans, we unveiled in Windsor a strategy for a more resilient made-in-Canada auto sector and took steps to protect those workers. In Montreal, we set out our plan to invest in trade infrastructure, including ports, such as the Port of Vancouver, to diversify away from the United States. Yeah. And because we're going to build Canada, we know we need a skilled workforce. So we unveiled measures, including covering the costs of apprenticeships, with the goal. And what's our goal? We're not looking, to be clear, we're not just looking to create hundreds of thousands of jobs in the skilled trades. We are looking to create hundreds of thousands of careers in the skilled trades. And part of that, and part of those careers is to fulfill our strategy, and I'm going to be talking about this more tomorrow, our strategy to double the pace of home construction to 500,000 new homes a year. A strategy that is based on innovation from here in BC in home construction and mass timber produced in this province that we don't need to ship to the Americans at times. You know, I said we were focused on protecting. We did something else today, a few things. To protect Canadian seniors amidst this market turmoil, I announced a series of measures to protect their incomes. Yeah. And to protect our natural heritage. There's no better place to do this than British Columbia, to protect our natural heritage. We launched a bold new strategy to preserve our land, our water, our biodiversity. We are going to protect 30% of this great country, its land and its marine heritage by 2030. This is what we've done in 3.5 weeks. And I want to ask you, just imagine what we could do together if the Liberal Party gets a strong, positive mandate from Canada. We need that. We need that mandate. Thank you. We need that. We need that mandate. We need that mandate because we as a country are facing the most significant crisis of our lifetimes. Yeah. President Trump wants to break us so that America can own us. That's the answer. It will never, ever happen. It will never happen. But we are over. And this has been tough. It's tough. We're over the shock now of the betrayal. But we should never forget the lessons of what's happened. We have elbows up is one, yes. We have to look out for ourselves, and we have to take care of each other. And you know, there's some regret here because we didn't ask for this fight. We didn't ask for it. But Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. And in a trade war, just like in hockey, we will win. We will get stronger while they get weaker. Now, hockey has played a big part of my life, as many of yours. I'm not going to point out that there's an Oilers fan here. I grew up with the values that I learned on the ice, at the rink, at the kitchen table, in the classroom. My parents were teachers who stressed the importance of hard work. You're a teacher too? Yeah. The importance of supporting each other in community and the importance of caring for other people. My hockey coaches taught me to play hard, to be ambitious, but because it's Canada, also to be humble. And I kept those values close to me when I was managing crises here in Canada and around the world. And I remembered them whenever I was working with others to build strong economies. And now I'm drawing on them to stand up to Donald Trump and to build the strongest economy in the G7, an economy that works for everyone. Now, there's someone who doesn't get any of this, Pierre Poilievre, because I feel badly, but I have seen this movie before. Pierre Poilievre is that type of lifelong politician who worships at the altar of the free market despite never having actually worked in the private sector or made a payroll. And it's all so simple. It's all so simple. You have a reflex to cut and destroy. And so while President Trump's plan is to divide and conquer, Pierre Poilievre's plan is to divide and be conquered. And this politics of division, this is no time for divisive, angry politics. Negativity is not going to win a trade war. Negativity won't pay the rent or the mortgage. Negativity won't bring down the price of groceries. Negativity won't make Canada strong. And someone who believes that our great country is broken won't put Canada first. We will win. We will win this battle if we are strong and united. Nous pouvons nous disputer au sujet de la politique. Nous pouvons nous disputer à propos de hockey. On peut être même un fan des Oilers ici à Richmond. Il y en a un, il y en a deux. C'est un pays libre. Mais quand il s'agit du Canada, nous sommes tous du même côté. Choisissons d'être forts. Un Canada fort. Now, what do the Americans want? They want, that's right, they want our strength. They want our resources. They want our water. They want our land. They want our country. But that will not happen. And the reason it won't happen is because Canada is not America. Think about it. Think about it. America is a melting pot. Canada is a mosaic. We're all Canadians. You look at the diversity in this room. We're all Canadians with our own identity. In the United States, healthcare is a big business. In Canada, it is a right. Aux États-Unis, on ne reconnaît pas les différences. On ne reconnaît pas les peuples autochtones. Et il n'y aura jamais de droit pour la langue française. Les États-Unis ne sont pas le Canada. Et le Canada n'en fera jamais partie des États-Unis, jamais. So the question comes down to, what do we do? And the important thing, what do we do to get out of this crisis? Get me elected. That's step one. Step one. Get me elected, and to get me elected, get them elected. When you're in a crisis, my experience, what you need to do is distinguish between what you can change and what you can't. And it's not really a big insight, but I don't think at 78 we can change Donald Trump. And a person who draws their inspiration from Donald Trump, like Pierre Poilievre, he'll kneel before him before he stands up to him. And as Premier Smith said, and I quote, Pierre Poilievre is in sync with Donald Trump. Pierre Poilievre is choosing to be willfully blind to the many and growing threats that face our country. He refuses, for some reason, to get his security clearance. 940 days and counting since he became leader of the opposition. I got mine in 3 weeks. Very tough. Just had to fill out a few forms, open the books, tell the truth. Wasn't tough. Pierre Poilievre, c'est la mauvaise personne au pire moment. Nous devons comprendre ce que nous pouvons et devons changer. Nous sommes maîtres chez nous. Nous pouvons contrôler notre destin économique. Now, we can control our economic destiny. We do it by building houses. We build it by becoming an energy superpower. We build it by building new trade corridors with reliable partners. And we build, and we're ready to build a coalition of like-minded countries who share our values. Because in this great city of Richmond, you embody this. We believe in international cooperation. We believe in the free and open exchange of goods and services and ideas. And if the United States no longer wants to lead, Canada will. We will lead with the right values. Richmond, Greater Vancouver, as gateways to the world, strong ties to Asia, you will play central roles in building the strongest economy in the G7. Before I finish, I just want to say a couple of words of why having a strong economy matters. I will come to Tsawwassen. I've been to Tsawwassen lots of times. I've waited hours in Tsawwassen. It's all right. It's fun. It's a good, we're going to fix that. We're going to fix that. I should have raised that with the Premier earlier today. That's all okay. No, as Liberals, we're passionate about building a strong economy, but we're passionate not for its own sake. We're passionate about it because we care about people. We know that we are all in this together. We know that we are a community. Et c'est pourquoi notre gouvernement a créé des places en garderie à $10 par jour pour les familles canadiennes. That's why we created $10 a day daycare for young families struggling. Et c'est la raison pour laquelle nous avons créé le régime canadien de soins dentaires qui aide plus de 8 millions de Canadiens à avoir accès aux soins dont ils ont besoin. 8 million Canadians now access to dental care and to pharmacare. You know, I know that these times are unsettling. Big change always is. And a couple of weeks ago, I met a teacher, and she gave me some results of an assignment that she had asked of her 9 and 10-year-old students. And the question was a simple one: describe your dreams for Canada. And so some of those children wrote of a country free of poverty. Others, yeah, a lot of wisdom. Others dreamt of clean air and water. We responded today. Others, a place, a country where everyone enjoys equal rights, dignity, and respect. Their dream is our dream. That's what we're fighting for. But you know what? What surprised me, and honestly bothered me, was that many kids wrote about tariffs and the threats to our sovereignty. Words I hadn't met at that age. And I'll quote one student, and I quoted this the other day, and they wrote, "I dream of a safe, a kind, and a clean Canada. A Canada that is not the US." What we owe our children is the ability to dream about those positive futures: equal rights, clean air, water, dignity, respect. We owe them that they dream of that, not worrying about an economic crisis. We can give our children that future, the future they deserve. Not because we're perfect, but because we strive to be good. Not because it will be easy. Not because it will be easy, but because it's right. That's why we're doing it. We can give ourselves, as I said, far more than any foreign government, including the US, can ever take away. And that is why I'm up here before you tonight. Canada has given me everything: my family, my education, my values. And in return, I'm ready to give my everything to Canada. Thank you very much. Send me with a strong group of Liberals to Ottawa and help us build Canada strong. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Vive le Canada.
Param, very special occasion, and you have to get on the podium and able to introduce Prime Minister. Kiddha feel ho ਰਿਹਾ?
ਦੇਖੋ, it's an exciting time. ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ already ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਪਏ ਇਹ important time ਕਿੰਨਾ ਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਲਈ, right? For Canada, it's an important time. We know the threat, the economic threat we have, right? ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਜੇ ਦੇਖੀਏ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਨੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ how we're going to build. That's why it's an exciting time. Opportunity ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਵਧੂਗੀ, right? ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ point by point ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਟੈਕ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਆ। ਆਪਾਂ ਜੇ US ਦਾ ਥ੍ਰੈਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਇਕਨੋਮਿਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਡੋਨਲਡ ਟਰੰਪ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁਣ ਕਾਫੀ ਬੋਝ ਪਾਤਾ, right? But we heard ideas, right? ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ਼ਿਪਸ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਆ, ਲੋਕੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਆ, ਉਹ ਤਿਆਰ ਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਰਿਚਮੰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਬਿਗ ਕਰਾਊਡ ਸੀਗਾ ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਥਿੰਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਰਿਚਮੰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨਾ ਬਿਗ ਰੈਲੀ ਪਿਛਲੇ 15 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਈ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਿਸੇ doesn't matter who ਕੋਈ politician ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਇਆ today was an exciting time you know I'm very proud to be a part of it excited to be a part of this and ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਰਿਚਮੰਡ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚਾਂਸ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਰੈਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਹੀ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ to make sure ਕਿ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਿਲਡ ਕਰਨਾ I'm gonna put my ਪੂਰਾ ਐਫਰਟ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੋਢਾ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਸਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਨੂੰ ਨਾਲੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਸਟਰੋਂਗਰ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੈ so I'm very excited today
So what are you hearing on the street when you go door knocking?
ਇੰਨਾ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਰਾਈਟ ਨਾਓ ਡੋਰਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਵੀ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ ਦੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਨੋ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਾਈਟ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੋਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਆਰ ਵੈਰੀ ਸਮਾਰਟ ਓਕੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੋਟਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਾਫੀ ਹੁਸ਼ਿਆਰ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਆ ਵੀ ਲੋੜ ਕੀ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਦ ਰਾਈਟ ਪਰਸਨ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਲੀਡਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਾਈਟ ਪਰਸਨ ਆ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਲਈ ਰਾਈਟ ਪਰਸਨ ਆ ਸੋ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਾਈਟ ਨਾਓ ਆਲ ਵੀ ਕੈਨ ਡੂ ਇਜ਼ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰੂੰਗੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਸੋ ਵੀਰ ਗੋਇੰ ਟੂ ਕੀਪ ਡੂਇੰਗ ਵਾਟ ਵੀਰ ਡੂਇੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਪਰੈਡ ਕਰੂੰਗੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੰਮ ਪਿਛਲੇ 4 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੂਗੇ ਸੋ ਆਈ ਜਸਟ ਥਿੰਕ ਦੈਟ ਰਾਈਟ ਨਾਓ this is we have to keep pushing the doors are positive and we'll keep going knocking on every door
Thank you Bern.
thank you sir
Mr. ਧਾਲੀਵਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਪੀਪਲ ਆਏ ਅੱਜ ਹੁਮਾ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ 'ਚ ਐਕਸਾਈਟਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ 2015 ਜਸਟਿਨ ਟਰੂਡੋ ਦੀ ਰੈਲੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਉਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ
ਉਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਵੱਡਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਸੀ ਔਰ ਪਾਰਟਿਕੂਲਰਲੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਪੂਰੇ ਚਾਰਜ ਅਪ ਸੀਗੇ ਔਰ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬੜੇ ਸੌਖੇ ਲਹਿਜੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੱਲੀ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਔਰ ਕੱਲਾ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਕਵਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਔਰ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਪੋਰਟਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਉਵੇਂ ਹੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦਿਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਅਗਲੇ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ ਬਣਨ ਔਰ ਲਿਬਰਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਖੜੇ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਸੀਟਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਤਾਉਣ
ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਕਨਸਟੀਟੂਐਂਟਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਸਟਰੀਟ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਡੋਰ ਨੌਕਿੰਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਕੀ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਤੋਂ
ਜਦੋਂ ਡੋਰ ਤੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਦੋ ਹੀ ਮੇਜਰ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਅੱਜ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਵਰ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ ਇੱਕ ਹੈਗਾ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੀ ਸੋਵਰਨਟੀ ਔਰ ਡੋਨਲਡ ਟਰੰਪ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਲਾਏ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਟੈਰਿਫ ਔਰ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਇਕਨੋਮਿਕ ਡਾਊਨਟਰਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਨੰਬਰ 1 ਇਕਨੋਮੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ G7 'ਚ ਬਣਾਉਣੀ ਉਹ ਬੜੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਹੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਵਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਬੜਾ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹਤ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਲੋਕ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਟ ਯੂ ਡੋਂਟ ਨੀਡ ਅ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਖੜੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਦਿਨ ਯਾਦ ਆ ਗਏ ਜਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੌਲੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਮਝਾਉਣੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਉਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਕਵਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ એનર્ਜੀ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅੰਦਰ 1-on-1 ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਮਿਲਣ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਆਈ ਐਮ ਲਿਟਲ ਗਾਏ ਫਰੋਮ ਸਰੀ ਹੀ ਵਾਸ ਵੈਲ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਵੈਰੀ ਹੰਬਲ ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਬਈ ਸਰੀ ਨਿਊਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਦਲਾਅ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਦੇਖਣ 'ਚ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਯੰਗ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਯੰਗ ਫੈਮਲੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਡੋਰ ਨੌਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੰਡ ਰੇਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਲੋਕ ਦੇਖੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਲੰਮੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਕਦੇ ਕੈਂਪੇਨ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਇੰਨਾ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸਰੀ ਨਿਊਟਨ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਤਾਈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਹੀ ਸੋ ਲਾਸਟ ਮਿੰਟ ਤਾਈਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੱਕ 7 ਵਜੇ ਤਾਈਂ ਪੋਲ ਬੰਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਘਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣਨੀ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਲੰਟੀਅਰ ਭੇਜੋ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਦਰਪੇਸ਼ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਰਜਿਸਟਰ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੱਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਲੱਭ ਸਕੀਏ
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ
ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ ਜੀ
So my name is Raphael. I live here in Richmond Center. I came here because I'm a great supporter of our local MP, Mr. Wilson Yao. I'm a very big fan for Mark Carney, and I'm very thankful for I'm very thankful for him coming back to Canada, starting basically restarting the Liberal Party and running to be our Prime Minister. I'm a member of the LGBTQ community. I'm very much aware of the issues around that. And, part of the reason why I'm here tonight is because I'm very happy for all the progress that the Liberal Party has made for my community. And I know that under a conservative government, those things might not still exist. So that concern is the reason why I'm here tonight. And yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Todd McMinn. I'm an ex-West Van liver now living in Burnaby. I've been a businessman for 30 years. I'm a family man, and I recently just became a Liberal. I think the reason for me is that the credibility of the man I saw today, his history, experience, make me want to join the party and also make Canada strong. I think he has great economic background, which we're going to need, and I think he's a sophisticated man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Mark, nice to see you here. And what do you think about today's event?
There's a lot of momentum now for Mark Carney. We're getting closer to the election, and people are getting stronger in their support for the Liberal Party, which is wonderful to see.
And looking at the crowd, listening to his speech, how you feel the excitement?
Well, people are concerned about this. I think this is going to be an historic election. I think people are concerned about what our economy is going to be looking like under Trump, and we want a very steady hand as our Prime Minister. And I think that Mr. Carney will be that steady hand.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Mark.
you very much.
So Kyle recently was your of his campaign kickoff. Now we are here. How you feel today?
I feel amazing. Amazing. It's a wonderful, thousands of people in here. I think thousands of people still outside. We had a wonderful, wonderful time tonight. Huge support for the Prime Minister, huge support for the Liberal team.
Yeah, and his speech was very inspiring.
Absolutely. And you know what? And it's exactly what we're hearing on the doors. Focusing on the economy, tackling Donald Trump, building more housings, and investing in the community. All of it bang on.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thanks, CJ. I appreciate it. Thanks.
ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੈਰਟਨ ਰਿਚਮੰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਰੈਲੀ ਦੀ ਕਵਰੇਜ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਉਸ ਕਵਰੇਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਫੁੱਲ ਸਪੀਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਕਰਾਊਡ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਅੱਜ ਹੁਮਾ ਕੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਿਆ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਆਫ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਸੀ। ਐਂਡ ਦਾ ਮੋਸਟ ਇਨਸਪਾਇਰਿੰਗ ਸਪੀਚ ਬਾਈ ਮਾਰਕ ਕਾਰਨੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਬਾਈ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਡੀਲਿੰਗ ਵਿਦ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਟਰੰਪ, dealing with the affordability, dealing with all the issues the Canadians are facing, sovereignty, having a one voice in Canada, taking all the provincial barriers out and having a one economy in Canada. ਤੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਹਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵਿਟੀ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿੱਤਣਾ, ਕੋਈ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਅਟੈਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵਿਟੀ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਕੈਂਪੇਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ। ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੇ ਵੋਟਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਤਣਾ ਆ। CJ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਰਿਪੋਰਟਿੰਗ ਫਰਮ ਰਿਚਮੰਡ, ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ।